Welcome to another WML document platform screencast. Today I'm looking at data groups and how you can use them to create table style documents like invoices, especially documents which will overflow onto a continuation page which you want to look a little bit different from the first page. So to see the sort of document we're going to work with, let's go to a word processor and look at the template. So let's switch over here. I've got an invoice template laid out here. This is the non-variable parts of the template. So this is what I've used to create a PDF, which I've uploaded onto the PDF Plus. So here we are, and we've got a table which we need to fill in, and it's got 5 columns. And each column, we don't know how many rows are going to land in that table, because every invoice is different and every invoice is going to have a different number of items on it. So let's switch back to the web interface now, let's have a quick look at the input data that we're going to work with. So here's a view of the XML input data. And what I've got is I've got a series of groups essentially. Here we've got a project 1, operator 1, hours 1, rate 1, and subtotal 1. So there's 5 elements that will go in those 5 columns. And then we've got the second row here, and a third row, and so on. So we want to lay those out in this table, and to do that we can use our data group feature. So what I would do is I would create a new data group on my template. Let's call it just table in this sample, and there it is, and I can drag that onto the page, and then I'd give my table a suitable width. I might make it the sort of height I want it to be, down here. And then what I need to do is I need to tell the system what the different elements are. If you remember, we had proj1, operator 1, and so on in the first row. So we have to add keys to our data group, and that's done in this groups box down here to the right. Now, because I want several columns in each row, I'm going to use the create data row function down here. I'm going to click on that. That brings me up a little window here. I'm going to enter the key text here, proj1. I'm going to choose a position. I'll put that to the far left of the table data group box, and I'll tell it to have a width of, say, 150. These are in PDF points. So I'm going to put in another column. Oops. Let's start that one at 160 and give it a width of 150 as well. Because that's 2 columns set up there. I won't do all 5 columns. We'll just create the row at that point, and that row appears here in the data group list. So I could now create a new one. If I knew exactly how many rows I was going to have, I could do this and enter the actual numbers here. Project 1, project 2, and so on. 0, 150. There it is, the second row. But we don't actually need to enter a single row for each one that we're going to produce. What we can actually do, if I take that out of there, I could add in, I could use a syntax to say that, as I know that my keys are all numbered, I can say proj %n, x0 width 150, add that one. Operator %n. We'll start that at 160, width 150. So there's 2 columns. and there's our row there, and that is all the setup we need for that data group, except that we would need obviously 5 columns and not 2 that we just entered there. So I'm going to switch to a template which I've already set up. Here's one I prepared earlier. Now this has actually got the PDF background on it, and I've got some simple elements here, some single elements for the name and address of the invoicee, and we've got some other fields over here, and then my data group element is this one here. I've called it items, and you can see in that little tooltip there that the data, the row, project %n, operator %n, hours, rate, and subtotal. So there's the table set up there with the data groups feature. And if we have too many rows to fit on the table, because we've got a data group on this page, we are offered the opportunity to set up a continuation page, which I've done on this template. The continuation page has got a different PDF on the background, and it's got the same items data group on it. If we look up here at the variable field, we should have, yes, a data group here. There's an existing data group which I could put onto that page, and I've done that, and it's slightly bigger than the one on the page 1. So if I now upload that sample data, if I upload sample data with only enough rows to create the first page, we'll do that first. So that's this first invoice data groups.xml file. That gets uploaded, and here we have a table, and I think there are 5 rows there. And if I scroll down to the bottom, you can see it's just got one page, this PDF file. So there's the short version. And if I now upload some slightly longer test data with more rows in the table, if I scroll down here, you can probably see we've got 6 rows have now fit onto that table. And if I carry on scrolling down, we've got one more which has landed on the continuation page. Let's zoom out a little bit on that. There it is. And that completes this screencast on using data groups for table style document layouts. Thank you very much for watching.